Hey. Hey, that's sexy. Hey. Okay, so I'm going to make a video today about things that I did as a new teacher that I no longer do. As of today, I think it's officially been 7 weeks since I started teaching. Y'all, like not always, but like I've talked about how much I hate this whole situation, but I'm trying to make it through, okay? All right. When I first started, there's so many things that I did, or, just because of the idea of what I was supposed to do, that I don't do anymore. So that's what we're going to talk about, these things that I used to do that I don't do anymore and why I don't do them. First thing I'm going to talk about is the obvious, dress up. When I first started teaching, I used to come to work every day. I'm talking about in like slacks, a blouse, a cardigan, just a very usual, like, I need to look like I'm in charge type of vibe. Do you want to see what I have on today? I have on, what's this other way? I don't like that color. Some khaki pants and a Florida State hoodie because they want us to wear college stuff to promote college for the kids. I do not dress up. Listen, I'm not, And first of all, it's always cold in my room anyway, so it's gotten to the point where I just wear a jacket, like, all the time. Because I'm like, I'm gonna be cold anyway. By the time I put that dress shirt on and put a hoodie on top of it, you ain't gonna see it no way. I don't dress up. And part of it is because now that I've gotten more comfortable with my job, I like to just be comfortable on a daily basis. I know what it is that I have to do. The amount of kids that I have to run after, all the moving around I gotta do. I don't want to be dressed up. I want to wear whatever the heck I feel comfortable wearing so that I can do what it is that I need to do. So that's one thing. Another reason why I don't dress up is because nobody else does. I literally used to be coming up in here like looking like, where you going? Because everybody else just got on Crocs. I'm talking about the teachers. Got on Crocs and Nike slides. I'm just like, well, Lord. So I at least, feel like I try to look halfway decent, but I don't, I'm not out here dressing up, wearing slacks and all that kind of stuff. Second thing that I no longer do is, and this is a good one, it's volunteer for stuff. When I first started working, I used to, which I'm just that person in general. I'm a very helpful person, right? I'm very helpful. Like, I don't mind doing almost anything, like if you need help, I'll help you out. Like, I don't mind. But now I mind because there's so many things that I have to do that I can't keep doing stuff for everybody else. So when I first started working here, I said yes to so many things that people stopped asking me. They just kind of started telling me. For example, y'all already know there's a teacher shortage. So there's so many classes that don't have teachers, and they'll be like, they'll be like, hey, could you cover such and such's class during your planning period? Because they don't have nobody to essentially watch them. And I'm just like, sure, I don't mind. And then it got to the point where I would get to work and somebody will just be like, here. And I'm like, what's this? They're like, oh, that's the class you got to cover today. It was no longer, can you, do you think you, maybe might. No, it was just like people just started assigning tasks for me because I was so willing. So I don't do that no more. Like, I told, like, the last time somebody asked me, I said no. And ever since then, they asked me a few more times, and like, if I can, I will, but I can't every day, and I'm not gonna keep doing it. And I will tell you no. And if you don't like it, I can leave. Okay, because I'm here trying to do what I need to do for my set of kids. I don't have time to do what y'all got to do for other people. I can't. So either y'all gonna have me here and one teacher that's not here and figure that out, or I'll quit and y'all can figure both of these out. Oh, okay? All right. Another thing I don't do, when I first started teaching, I don't know what it was, but I use paper worksheets for everything. Now, nowadays, you don't have to use paper for nothing. Everything is online. I'm talking about between Canvas, what is the other thing called? McGraw-Hill. All this stuff is online, so you don't have to use paper. For whatever reason, I just have always been a firm believer of writing things out. Every book that I've ever written, I've published 2 books in my life. I always wrote the books on paper and then typed them up. So I love to write. So I just kind of tried to like, incorporate that in my teaching method. Like, okay, no, I'm going to make my kids write stuff because it's good for them. I don't do that no more because, look, I can't have all these papers sitting around here to grade. When you have stuff to turn in online, it is so much easier to grade. And while we're on the subject of grading, another thing that I used to do when I first started teaching that I don't do anymore is spend a lot of time grading. And let me tell you why. I am an English teacher. So because I am a writer, I obviously have my kids do a nice amount of writing. So when they would write, I would spend all the time in the world, revising markups. I'm talking about writing them paragraphs, dang near writing them a whole nother essay on like what's wrong, or why is it wrong, what can you do to make it better, just because I wanted to make sure that I was giving them all the help that they needed and that I was giving them, the best part of me. Listen, that paper would be on the floor before the period was over. I'm talking about I done poured my heart and soul into this revision and they ain't even have enough decency to put it in the trash. I mean, they just left it. And it's just like, they didn't care. They did not care. And I can't blame them because, I mean, if you don't care, you don't care. Like, it's very simple. So I don't do that. I don't spend a whole lot of time doing that. Now, if there is somebody, one teacher told me, he said, if they care, they'll ask. So if you want to know, why did I get a B? I thought I did everything right. Then I'll pour my heart and my soul into a revision sheet for you. But I'm not doing that for all 200 of y'all. And only one of y'all actually want to know how to better your writing. So that's a very valid point. And the last thing I have on this list for today is I no longer yell. I don't yell at people. I've never been a yeller. But I certainly don't do it now. Like I don't yell anymore. Like there were times where I would raise my voice like, hey, all right now. I don't yell. I don't. And when you're quiet, it scares, well, for my kids. When I'm quiet, it scares them more than when I'm talking. So if there's a time where stuff ain't right and they need to get right, I'm not hollering at nobody. I'm not yelling. If anything, I'll go walk around and say, hey, would you like to get kicked out? Oh, no, miss, my bad. Oh, all right. It's very, like, I'm so subtle with everything that I do now. It's not no, hey, y'all, stop playing. No. Excuse me. Would you like a referral? No. Okay, well, I'm going to need you to sit down. Like, listen, one thing about me, I'm not raising my blood pressure. I don't do that no more. Like, it's very simple. You're going to do what you're supposed to do or you could get gone. I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. I don't have the strength. And it's showing up in enough for me. I got class sizes of 43 kids. It's only one of me. Okay, and y'all not going to wear me out. So you're going to sit down, you're going to shut up, or you could get out. It's really simple. It's very simple and in your face. Okay. And the last thing, and I thought that was the last thing, but this one actually is that I don't clean up my classroom anymore. Now hear me out. Okay, hear me out now. I'm not dirty. I'm not. But I had to rationalize my job, okay? These kids used to leave certain things in this room so messy that it would take me my entire planning session or literally a nice amount of time when school is out to clean up my room. I would be so wore out because of everything that I gotta do. And now I gotta go make sure that every Snickers wrapper is up, that every bag of chips is up, that all the papers that they decided not to turn in is not still on the floor, that they replaced the books back on the shelf that they used for their assignments. Now, I will go around and pick up the books and put them back on the shelf. But I don't do none of that other stuff. I try to tell them, clean your stuff up before you leave, but if there just so happens to be a mess in here, it stays in here. I barely have enough in me to do my job. I'm not the janitor. And I say that with the utmost grace. But at a certain point, there's a line that has to be drawn. And I've made a decision that I cannot teach all day, then most times babysit somebody else's class because they don't have a teacher, then come back to my room and be the cleanup lady. I can't do it. I can't. Like, I cannot. Okay? So I don't do it anymore. And you have to pick and choose your battles. There are some days where I'm like, this room look a mess. And sometimes, because we only have 4 janitors in this whole school. So a lot of times the janitors can't make it in every classroom every day. They don't make it by. And whatever it is, it's going to be here tomorrow. And I tell them, if y'all don't want a messy area, clean it up. Because I can't do all of that. I cannot. I had one student come to me today talking about, Miss, can you write down everything that's on a board for me because I can't see it? I said, well, I got some seats open in the front of the room. Why would you sit all the way in the back? Oh, no, but I don't want to move up there. Well, baby, you don't want to see. You don't want to see. You don't want to do the assignment because you really, out of everything that I have to do, you think I'm about to sit down, make a note card for you. And it's one thing if you really needed the accommodation, but you don't. You're lazy and you're acting funny because you don't want to sit by somebody. Well, baby, you don't want to see. You don't want to see the board. You don't. And I have to I tell them no. I have to tell them no. And I have to even say no to certain tasks like I referred to cleaning up because I can't do everything. I cannot. And I'm already tired as it is. And the job that I actually get paid to do is already enough. I can't do that extra stuff. I cannot. There we have it. Those are all of the things that I did as a new teacher that I no longer do. Okay? This is my 7-week check-in. I am just trying to make it through this school year so that I can run for the hills. Okay? But I ain't gonna lie, I'm struggling. I don't know if I'm making it through this year. I want to. I do for the sake of my students. But I don't know. So pray for me. Encourage me. Encourage my heart. You know, sometimes you gotta encourage yourself. So be encouraged. And that's it for me today. I'm done running my mouth.